We come to you today with breaking news from the Fulton County Courthouse, where Lisa Turner is being charged with the attempted first-degree murder of her husband. What was the apparent weapon of choice, you ask? Cassava, otherwise known as yucca or manioc, which is a native plant originating from South America. Today it is a dietary staple for many people around the world, particularly in parts of Africa, Central and South America, India, and Southeast Asia. In areas where cassava is consumed, it has long been known about its potential toxic properties when prepared incorrectly. But today in Atlanta, we are getting education about it with Lisa Turner. Let's go to Adria, who is coming to us live from the Fulton County Courthouse.
Thank you, Reagan. Two types of cyanogenic glucosides, Linamarin and Loxatrol, are highly accumulated in the roots and leaves of the cassava plant. Over 80% is Linamarin, which can be metabolized into a variety of compounds once the cassava is ingested. Thus, when it is not prepared correctly, cassava has the potential to become toxic. This is an issue commonly seen in developing nations where cassava is a staple crop. For example, in 2005, in the Philippines, 27 children were killed and 100 others became ill from eating poorly prepared cassava at an elementary school. Some of those affected said that they began feeling ill 5 to 10 minutes after eating. The level of the toxin in the cassava can depend on the environmental conditions in which it is grown. Earlier this year, cassava that had been grown in drier climates in Mozambique was found to have levels of the toxin exceeding established levels. Today, the prosecution is arguing that the wife purposely prepared the cassava incorrectly to poison her husband, while the defense suggests that it was all just an accident. Here is a reenactment of the alleged incident as described by the prosecution.
Hi, sweetie, I made you something.
Oh, great. What is it?
Something I knew you would enjoy.
Looks good. What is it?
It's cassava.
Oh, all right.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's good. Use a little salt. It's all right. It's good. Do you want some?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Okay. I might eat this whole bowl.
Go for it. All right, I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Oh. Fed very well. Oh.
Earlier today, the prosecution called an expert toxicologist from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to the stand to testify about the potential toxicity of Linamarin.
This is the molecular form of Linamarin. Its non-toxic metabolite is called cyanide. The toxic form of Linamarin primarily affects the central nervous system, which explains her husband's neurological symptoms in this case. Instead of being detoxified into cyanide, Linamarin was metabolized into acetone cyanohydrin, which was transformed into hydrogen cyanide. In fact, cyanogenic glucosides alone are relatively non-toxic, but as a result of enzymatic hydrolysis by beta-glucopholin maceration of cassava tissue after eating, cyanogenic glucosides are broken down to release hydrogen cyanide, which is toxic to him. Hydrogen cyanide inhibits enzyme cytochrome oxidase and inhibits cellular respiration in mitochondria. Linamarin can also cross blood-brain barrier and directly affects neurons.
Please place your right hand on this handbook of environmental health and safety. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Miss Turner, would you care to tell me a little bit about your relationship with your husband, Mr. Turner?
Well, I'd say we have, or at least had, a very happy and healthy marriage. 2 kids, a house, white picket fence. We really love each other.
And how long had you been married?
5 years.
And is it true that up to 6 months ago he was living at a refugee camp in Mozambique for the last 2 years?
That's correct.
And what were his conditions at this camp in terms of his overall nutrition?
Well, from what he told me, he had it better than most as a doctor working there. He was eating millet and rice, cornmeal and stews, and sampled some of the local seafood. He said he really liked the food there.
Would you consider him to be malnourished?
Well, if you're implying that I waited 2 years for my husband to come home from Africa with a nutritional deficit, only to poison him with cassava, which I've prepared hundreds of times without incident, I'd say you're sadly mistaken.
Judge, we have a hostile witness here.
Overruled!
At any point, did he return home while he was serving at the refugee camp?
He did just once shortly after the birth of our second child, but he was very dedicated to his work at the camp and he didn't get a lot of time off.
Speaking of that dedication, is it true that on July 1st, 2012, you reportedly admitted to a friend that you resented his goodwill towards the continent of Africa?
I wouldn't say those are my exact words.
Oh, we might have a witness later on that contradicts that. And is it true that on September 15th, 2012, you were reportedly seen in a touchy-feely type relationship with another man?
I would say that brunch at the Flying Biscuit among friends isn't illegal.
Well, that's to be debated. And next question, Ms. Turner, what is your profession?
Well, I am a toxicologist for the Georgia State Board of Health.
So, hypothetically speaking, you would have a profound understanding of the toxin Linamarin and how it could potentially be used to kill your husband or cause him severe damage, and making it look like an accident?
I find that to be a leading question.
Judge, overruled! Okay, let's get back to the day of the incident. You mean to tell me that this was all just an accidental poisoning and a misunderstanding? I'm gonna need some answers here, Ms. Turner.
Oh, you want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Well, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Overruled!
Thank you, Adria, for that special report. Join us back here tomorrow when we anticipate the verdict. And up next, how much arsenic is really in your apple juice?
Done.
Oh my god. No, it was very good.
Harvesting operations for cassava generally cause tissue disruption, which allows linamarin and linamarase to come into contact, initiating cyanogenesis. Most cassava is harvested by hand, lifting the lower part of the stem and pulling the roots out of the ground, then removing them from the base of the plant by hand. The upper parts of the stems with the leaves are removed before harvest. Care must be taken during the harvesting process to minimize damage to the roots, as this greatly reduces shelf life. The major cyanogenic glycoside in cassava, linamarin, is made from valine in the leaves and translocated to the roots. Linamarin in the roots is hydrolyzed during mechanical damage by linamarase to